On the day of the National Violin Competition, all the other participants had their families accompanying them. I looked at the empty seats in the front row and couldn't help but ask when I got home, "Didn't you guys say you would all come today? If you don't come, I'll die." My mom impatiently looked at me. "If you want to die, go ahead. You bought 3 tickets for 4 people. Are you trying to isolate Chloe?" My little brother rolled his eyes. "What's so impressive about a violin competition? Chloe's competition was a skateboard contest. That's way cooler than your violin stuff." Dad added at the end, "Can't you be more graceful like Chloe? It's not like you're a little kid needing people to accompany you just to play the violin." Looking at the grim faces of my family, I almost started doubting whether I was the orphan from another family. It was at this moment that the system reminded me, if I failed the task, they would send a perfect daughter to replace me. But after the perfect daughter replaced me, they would just get red-eyed and ask where I went. Chapter 1. After the host announced the champion, the crowd erupted into enthusiastic applause, and many people even stood up to cheer for me. "I heard this contestant has won every competition she entered. She really brings glory to her parents. Look at how well she plays the violin. Now look at you. We've all been playing the violin since we were kids. But the gap is huge. Why do all the other participants have family members here, but none of her family or friends showed up?" I unconsciously looked at the empty seats in the front. They clearly promised to come watch me today. Why didn't they come? Didn't they say they would come? If they don't, I'll die. After the performance, I helplessly squatted in a corner and called my mom. I called 5 times in a row, but she didn't answer until half an hour later when she finally texted, sounding impatient, asking me what was wrong. I asked her why she didn't come to watch my competition. On the top left corner, it kept showing the other party is typing. I don't know how long I waited until my legs went numb, but finally, my mom sent a message. The beauty salon had an emergency. Dad and my little brother had similar excuses. One said he was working overtime and couldn't come. The other said he had extra lessons at school and didn't have time. Host time is up, and they still haven't come. Favorability has not reached 100. The mechanical voice sounded in my mind. I couldn't help but beg. They just got caught up in something. Can you give me one more chance? They were supposed to come watch me. The system was silent for a few seconds, then replied, "According to the detection, the task targets are at Happy Square watching a skateboarding competition." Happy Square? Isn't that right next to our neighborhood? My heart sank once again. I didn't need the system to tell me. I knew exactly where they were. They must be with Chloe again. 10 years ago, I crossed over into this world. The system told me that if I could raise my family's favorability to 100, I could restore my body from the accident that killed me in my original world. So, for the past 10 years, I've worked hard to please everyone, memorizing all their likes and daily habits. Finally, a year ago, their favorability reached 99. Just when I thought I was about to succeed in the task and recover my health, Chloe arrived. Her original name was Laura. She was my mom's cousin's daughter. Something happened to her family, and Chloe was the only one left. Mom pitied this little girl and brought her into our home. She even gave her a new surname and a new name. Chloe harbored a lot of hostility toward me. She would subtly undermine me, frame me, and then act innocent in front of my family. Over the course of the year, their favorability dropped from 99 to 40, until last week, when the system said that if they came to watch my competition today, I could get more time to finish the task. I used all means necessary, even threatening to jump off a building to force them to agree. But they still didn't come. Not a single one of them showed up. Even if you raise a dog for 10 years, you'd feel bad, right? All I want is to live. Why is it so hard? Chapter 2. Mom, wasn't my trick just now awesome? Hey little brother, don't you think I look cool? If you want, I can teach you a couple of moves later. Chloe walked between Mom and Dad, holding one of each of their hands. Mom turned her head, smiling sweetly as she lightly tapped Chloe's nose with her finger. "You scared me just now. I was really worried you'd fall." Her tone of reproach couldn't hide the indulgence in her voice. My little brother, in his school uniform and carrying his backpack, walked alongside them, looking like he'd rushed over after class. "You're going to teach me? Do you believe I could outdo you in 3 days? You're just talking big. Come and challenge me if you don't believe it. I walked home in a daze, but then I ran into the cheerful family in front of me. They paused for a few seconds when they saw me, their smiles quickly fading. Before I could say anything, Dad frowned and scolded. Why aren't you even bothering to change clothes? Strolling around here showing off? David whistled, stirring the pot. You didn't even zip up your bag. Are you trying to make sure everyone knows you won? What's there to be so proud of? I looked back at David's words and realized I really had forgotten to zip up my backpack. I lowered my head and looked at the dress I was wearing. The pure white skirt was already stained with dirt, and there were even a few leaves stuck to it. I couldn't help but feel heartbroken. The dress was rented. Would they even accept it back like this? I'm about to die, yet I'm still worrying about things like this. I snapped back to my senses and couldn't help but laugh bitterly at myself. Hey sis, your dress is so pretty. Do you think I look good today? Mom picked it out for me. There are so many zeros. Dad didn't even blink when he paid for it. Hee hee. Little brother thinks it looks great too. The only one who hasn't said it's pretty is you. Sis. I raised my eyes to look at Chloe, who was wearing a little fish-shaped outfit. A red koi-pattern skateboard was tightly clutched in Dad's arms. I couldn't help but feel a sharp pain in my chest. Everyone else had their families accompany them to the competition, but I've been running these competitions year after year alone, carrying 2 bags, one with my violin, the other with clothes and other things. Chloe, on the other hand, only had a simple skateboard, and it was even in Dad's hands. The more I thought about it, the more bitter I felt. I forced back the tears and questioned, "Didn't you promise you'd come watch my competition? Why didn't you come today? Didn't I tell you I'd die if you didn't come?" I really would die. In the next second, a heavy slap landed across my face. Shut up. Always talking about dying. What the hell do you want? Do you think you can threaten us with death? There are 4 people in the family, and you only bought 3 tickets. Who didn't you want to bring? Are you trying to isolate Chloe? You've always been like this since you were little, and you're still like this. Mom's chest was rising and falling sharply. Looking furious, Chloe immediately stepped forward to help calm Mom down, then gently spoke. Mom didn't mean to say that. Sis, don't be mad. It's okay if I don't go to your competition. Next time, let Mom come watch you, okay? David quickly interjected. No way. I don't care if Chloe doesn't go. What's so great about a violin competition anyway? It's not even cool. I like watching Chloe on her skateboard much more. She's so awesome. I want to skate too. A mix of frustration, sadness, and helplessness, coupled with the fear of imminent death, overwhelmed me. I tried desperately to hold back my tears, but they flowed down uncontrollably, splashing onto the ground. Crying again. You're nothing like me. Dad glanced at Mom, then turned to me seriously. Your mom's right. You're used to going to competitions alone. This is Chloe's first competition like this, and we're not going to ignore her just to accompany you. You're old enough now. As the older sister, you should learn to make way for your younger sister. This competition can wait. We're going to celebrate Chloe's first competition and her great result. 4th place isn't bad. I watched them leave, their backs turned. For the first time, I realized how terrifying habits can be. I was used to being alone, so it didn't matter that no one was with me. The National Violin Competition champion went without celebration. The community's small skateboarding competition, 4th place, was worth celebrating. How ridiculous. It seemed they had forgotten that I was their biological child. I was only half a year older than Chloe. Host. I've pushed a bit, and I can offer you one more chance to extend the time. Chapter 3. The Cold. Mechanical voice sounded again. I wiped my tears and walked alone on the road home, asking the system in my mind, is there any other way? Tomorrow is your birthday. They can help extend your time by 1 more year. I stopped in my tracks, turning back to look at the departing family. Chloe looked back at me and made a few funny faces before giving me a thumbs up. When Mom went to see her, I didn't know what Chloe said, but Mom shot me a glare. Then David turned his head and rolled his eyes at me. You don't need any other conditions. As long as they show up, the task will be considered complete. perhaps noticing that I didn't reply. The system couldn't help but add more. I gave a wry smile and replied, I understand. Tomorrow is my birthday. It's my birthday in this world. And it's also my birthday in my original world. I had completely forgotten tomorrow was my birthday. After what happened today, I have no idea if they'll come. I'm not even sure. They love Chloe so much. Will they really come to celebrate my birthday? After thinking for a long time, I decided to give it one last try. If I have the chance to be reborn, why not make the effort? I held my phone, hesitating for a moment, before finally calling Dad. The call was picked up in less than a second. Dad. You. I'm not Dad. What do you need? Sis? Haha. Little brother. What are you doing? Stop smearing cake on me. Chloe's giggling voice came through the phone. Hearing the most annoying voice, I instinctively tightened my grip on the phone. Give the phone to Dad. I need to talk to him. What's the matter? Just say it. I put it on speaker, so Dad and Mom can hear too. Haha. Mom. Why do you also want to smear cake on me? Tears flowed down again. I choked out. Give the phone to him. I really need to talk to him. After about 10 seconds, I finally heard Dad's voice. What is it? What's so important? If it's nothing, I'm hanging up. Dad. I quickly called out to him, then cautiously spoke. Tomorrow is my birthday. Can you come home and celebrate it with me? I trembled nervously as I waited. There was a brief pause on the other end of the line, followed by Dad's angry voice. So after all that, you're calling me just for this? I thought you had something big to tell me. Something you needed to say in private. Mom's sarcastic voice also came through. I didn't know we had a little princess in the house. Why can't you talk without putting it on speaker? Always so hesitant. Who does that remind me of? Isn't it just like our Chloe? So graceful. Everyone likes her. Mom, you've already said you like me 1,000 times today. Stop. You're making me embarrassed. David laughed loudly. All right. We'll be back after dinner. Don't make a fuss over nothing. Hearing that they agreed, I quickly spoke up. You have to come back. I'll be waiting for you at home. You must come back. The only response was the sound of the phone being hung up. At least they agreed. To avoid them finding it troublesome and not coming, I specifically chose to have the celebration at home. They'll definitely come back after dinner. I looked at the clock on the wall and couldn't help but doubt. Would they really come back? Chapter 4. I lay on the couch and took a nap. As soon as the first light of day appeared, I couldn't wait to knock on their bedroom door. But as expected, no one responded. I pushed the door open, and the room was empty. They really didn't come back last night. In a panic, I called them, but the phone was off. Why did they lie to me again? Didn't they say they would come back? The task deadline is tonight at midnight. Don't worry, host. There's still time. The system's voice spoke comfortingly. I sent them a final text message, almost begging them to come back today. Anxiously, I ordered a cake and had the maid prepare a full meal. The food was reheated again and again, from dawn till dusk. There was still no miracle. In the final 5 minutes, I stopped hoping. How foolish of me. For 10 years, I've never been able to get into their hearts. My body began to ache, and my consciousness started to blur. I knew that my soul was about to leave this body. System, can't you, based on my diligent efforts over the years, send me back to my original world, just so I don't feel this pain anymore? I really hated this. I really hated the feeling of pain. After a while, as my body collapsed, the system's mechanical voice sounded again. Okay. I thought that once my soul had left my body, I would immediately return to my original one. But instead, I found myself, as a soul, watching myself get up from the floor. Since you failed your task, the punishment for the host is to observe your AI replacement living your life in your stead. Apologies. Host, you cannot return to your original body immediately. AI? So they're really replacing humans with AI now? I let out a bitter laugh while feeling curious about how this AI would replace me. Data entry complete. Perfect daughter is officially activated. Wow, Dad, Mom, can I ride the roller coaster with you next time? Of course. No matter what you want to do, Dad and Mom will be with you. Hey, don't forget about me, your little brother. The family of 4 walked in laughing and chatting, casually handing the maid the gifts they bought. But when they saw me not far away, they all immediately stopped smiling. David was the first to speak. What's with the sour face? It's not like we didn't celebrate your birthday. You've had birthdays for over 20 years. Chloe has never been to an amusement park. How could you be upset over that? So they took Chloe to the amusement park. At this moment, I couldn't help but feel a bit amused, watching the happy family. It was so ironic. They didn't even know their real daughter was dead. Ah, Chloe gasped, covering her mouth. I'm sorry, sis. I forgot yesterday was your birthday. It was just a sudden idea to have Dad and Mom take us to the amusement park. I'm sorry. Please don't be mad, Chloe said as she walked towards me. Then, when she reached me, she deliberately grabbed my hand and secretly dug her nails into my hand. When I pushed her away from the pain, Chloe would fall to the ground, pretending to be innocent. I'm sorry, sis. Please don't be mad. This trick had been played dozens of times in just a year. But strangely, they all believed it. It's us who should have taken our little sister to the amusement park. Elena, if you have a problem, come to us. But bullying your sister is not acceptable. They thought I would be angry, but they didn't expect I to just smile and help Chloe up. Oh, I'm so sorry, little sister. It's all my fault. Did I hurt you when you fell? I'm sorry, Mom, who had been ready to scold me, froze. Even Chloe, sitting on the floor, couldn't believe it, because I had never apologized to Chloe, and I never bowed down to them. But what they didn't know was that the body in front of them had already been replaced with a new chip. The AI, smiling, pulled Chloe to sit on the sofa. What did you do at the amusement park? Tell me. I'll go next time too. Chloe stumbled over her words, unable to speak. What are you trying to do now? What tricks are you playing, Elena? David suddenly grabbed Chloe, eyeing the AI on the sofa warily. The AI not only wasn't angry, but also very casually stood up and patted David on the shoulder. You brat. No manners. Next time, take me to learn skateboarding. Looking at the smiling face in front of him, David only felt more and more uncomfortable. No matter what they said, the AI wouldn't get angry. It was like hitting a cotton ball. Eventually, everyone left in a bad mood, but David kept a complex expression as he looked at the AI. I couldn't help but pull at the corner of my mouth. So this is their perfect daughter, the perfect sister? Why aren't they satisfied? The system responded. Human emotions are truly complicated, but whatever they want, the AI can adjust to. I nodded. It really is quite advanced. Chapter 5. For the past few days, no matter what they said or did, the AI always maintained a smile, talking confidently without showing any of the carefulness that used to characterize me. I couldn't help but feel a pang in my heart when I looked at the AI. The truth is, I'm not inherently timid. But after being suppressed by them for 10 years, constantly trying to please 3 people, it really wore me out. Ah! Suddenly, a loud exclamation snapped me out of my melancholic thoughts. I lowered my gaze and saw Chloe holding half of a photo, the other half in the AI's hand. Fearing Chloe was being bullied, David rushed upstairs from below. I knew it! All these days, you've just been pretending, acting kind and gentle on the outside, but secretly bullying Chloe behind her back. When David saw the photo ripped in half, he couldn't say anything. It was a photo I cherished dearly. The only photo of us 4 from the one time they accompanied me to a gala interview. Years ago, David accidentally stained this photo, and even though I never lost my temper, I grabbed him by the ear and slapped him twice. That was the only time I had ever gotten angry. Everyone knew how much I valued this photo. Chloe. It should have been an accident, the AI said. It's fine. It's just a photo. I replied indifferently. David thought I would be angry, but the AI just shrugged. Actually, I never thought this photo was that great. It's better ripped up. What did you say? David raised his voice, staring at the AI in disbelief. Enough, little brother. Don't fight with my sister over this, the AI said as it walked over. Chloe tried to pull David's hand away, but he shrugged her off. Shut up, He turned to glare at the AI. What do you mean it's fine? Didn't you love this photo more than anything? The AI frowned in confusion, clearly trying to understand his words. Chloe, realizing she was in the way, left to go downstairs on her own. David was the only one still waiting for the AI's response. You love this photo so much, and you're not even mad that it was torn? David, who's he trying to fool? He used to scold me for treating trash like treasure. And now this? What's he doing? After a moment of thought, the AI once again broke into a smile and walked over to a drawer to take out a photo album, which had only a few pictures in it. You brat. Do you also want to tear this one? Here, pick one for yourself. Just don't say I'm being partial. The album also contained a few family photos of the four of us. In the end, David stormed off in frustration. The AI didn't understand why he was angry. I didn't understand why he was angry either. In an effort to gain David's favor, the AI chased after him downstairs. Halfway, Mom stopped it. Help me make a pot of tea. What kind of tea? Dragon well from the second drawer on the left side of the kitchen. I repeated the instructions in my mind, to please Mom in the past. I had even learned how to make tea, just as I had learned to play the violin because she said that girls who played the violin were elegant. Just make it like you did last time. Mom waved her hand impatiently, and the AI had no choice but to go in and try to prepare the tea on its own. In less than 2 minutes, it came out with the tea. Chapter 6. Mom stared at the paper cup in disbelief. How is it so hard to make tea? The AI responded with a hint of defensiveness. This is tea. I was stunned and asked the system. Didn't the AI learn my habits? The system replied that it had only considered what kind of daughter they wanted, and forgot about this detail. What's going on with you lately? Sister? Let me help Mom with the tea. Chloe suddenly appeared from nowhere. Seeing her, Mom's face immediately lit up with joy. I've always said that daughters are like a little cotton-padded jacket for moms. Looks like I'll be putting my little jacket to work again. Hee hee. No problem. I actually love it when you ask me to help every day, Chloe replied cheerfully. With that, Chloe beamed and pulled the AI into the kitchen, but as soon as they were inside and the door shut, Chloe's expression instantly changed. Elena, what kind of trick are you trying to pull? Do you really think you can steal my family away like this? Her family? How laughable. Her family was long gone. She had stolen my family, and now she was turning the truth around and acting so shamelessly. In my soul form, I gave Chloe a good beating. Although it passed through her, the anger in my heart was somewhat eased. Sis, I'm not playing tricks. Please go make tea for Mom. I just want to learn how to do it, the AI said, walking over and patting Chloe like a good friend. But Chloe shoved her away. What do you think you're doing, Elena? Stop pretending. If you keep this up, I'll have Dad and Mom throw you out of the house. Chloe lowered her voice and threatened the AI. The AI tilted its head in confusion. Why would you want to throw me out of the house? Did I do something wrong? Would you like me to apologize? Chloe was completely infuriated by the AI's good nature. She gritted her teeth and pointed at the AI. If you want to keep pretending, then fine. Keep pretending. Let's see whether Mom loves me or you. Before anyone could stop her, Chloe grabbed the teapot from the table and threw it forcefully to the ground. She closed her eyes and sat down in the pile of broken pieces. By the time Mom and Dad rushed over after hearing the crash, Chloe's eyes were already filled with tears. Sister, what did I do wrong? Why are you treating me like this? The AI stood where it was, trying to explain. I don't know why but no one listened to the AI's explanation. Look at what you've done to your sister. I know you don't like Chloe, but you've been secretly bullying her for so long, and now you dare to bully her openly in front of us? Dad was furious and slapped the AI hard across the face. The once smooth and fair face of the AI immediately turned red and swollen. After the slap, Dad shook his hand as if he had used all his strength. It looked so painful. The AI wiped the blood from the corner of its mouth. Still frowning, I really didn't do anything wrong. Dad, why did you hit me? A string of numbers, how could you understand human emotions? Your dad went easy on you. Look at what you've done to your sister. She's bleeding. Mom was shaking with anger. She stepped forward, suggesting, she's been bullying Chloe like this at home. Can you imagine how much Chloe must have suffered? Elena, You must kneel and apologize to your sister. David's gaze was fixed on the AI for the first time. He didn't even look at Chloe's injuries. If kneeling and apologizing will make you happy, then I'm willing to. Chloe, I'm sorry, I hurt you. All right. The AI spoke while kneeling, but halfway through, Mom furrowed her brow and stopped her, and David yanked the AI up. Why would you really want to kneel? You shouldn't be like this. What happened to you? David kept asking the AI, gripping her clothes tightly. Mom, too, had a complicated expression as she stared at the AI. Even Chloe's repeated calls to her went unheard. Finally, Dad spoke up. We'll talk about this later. Let's take Chloe to the hospital first. Chapter 7. Chloe was hospitalized. The AI deliberately made a strawberry cake at home to bring to her. The data showed that improving the relationship with Chloe could bring me closer to the task's goal. I followed the AI to the hospital. After the AI arrived, the whole family looked at her with complicated expressions, and only she didn't notice. Normally, the three of them would have already started their sarcastic comments, but this time, they were all silently sitting there. Hee hee, Mom, let me cut the cake for you. The AI maintained its well-mannered persona when no one responded. It quickly cut a piece of cake with strawberries and handed it to Mom. Mom, don't be angry. It's all my fault. As the AI spoke, it tried to push the cake into Mom's hand, ignoring her shocked and disbelieving look, and even tried to feed her strawberries. Elena, I'm allergic to strawberries. Remember? Mom said. The AI paused, then apologized word by word. Sorry, Mom, you're not my daughter. Who are you? Mom hugged her head, seemingly unwilling to face something. Elena, how could you forget I'm allergic to strawberries? The AI instinctively explained. Sorry, it must be a data entry error. What did you say? David was right next to Mom and heard everything clearly. What do you mean? Data entry? Elena, what are you talking about? You're not my sister? What did you do with my sister? Get lost. Give her back to me. David became extremely agitated, grabbing the AI by the neck and shaking her violently. My sister can't be like this. Mom nodded in agreement from her chair. That's right. Elena would never act like this. Dad adjusted his glasses. What are you talking about? If this isn't Elena, then who else could it be? I thought it would take them a long time to figure it out. As for Dad, he'd always been a workaholic, never paying attention to things at home. It wasn't until Chloe came into our family that he started coming home more often. What was most ridiculous was that no one stopped David. The AI was almost being strangled. They were doubting whether she was really me, all the while watching me being strangled. Such a disconnect. System failure, reboot. The AI was almost suffocated, and when she spoke those words, her body went limp. David was startled and quickly placed her on the bed. The whole family was stunned by the scene, not knowing how to react. They were about to call a doctor, but by then, the AI had already rebooted. Mom, do you want some cake? The smile on the AI's face at that moment was particularly unsettling. They didn't believe it was me, but after conducting DNA tests with the AI, they fell silent. Who are you really? Where is my sister? What did you do to her? David demanded, his voice rising with emotion. No matter how agitated he became, the AI continued to ask. Hey, little rascal, you're so concerned about me. Do you need something from me? The family was about to go crazy from the AI's indifference. That night, while I was struggling with my frustration, David snuck into the room and began speaking to the dormant AI. Sis, where did you go? I really miss you. I know this is hard to explain, but I know this woman is definitely not you. David started recalling old memories, how I had signed his school documents when he didn't do well, how a school bully had picked on him, and how I had fought the bully even though it was dangerous for me. When he didn't have enough pocket money, I would give him half of mine. When he got sick and his family wasn't around, I secretly took him to the hospital. He rambled on for a long time, and I felt like my ears were going to get calluses from hearing it all. I thought he didn't know about all this. This whole past year, I had even started to question whether the previous 9 years had been just a dream. I'm sorry, sis. I've always been cold to you because... David wiped his tears and choked up. I was always afraid you would tell mom and dad about the money I stole when I was little, so I treated you badly. Was it really just for that? I screamed at David in anger, but he couldn't hear me. I admit, I'm a petty person. Please come back, okay? If you come back, I'll apologize immediately, and I'll do whatever you want me to do to apologize. When I caught David stealing Dad's money when we were little, he put the money back in front of me, but the next day, the money was gone again, and Dad thought I had taken it. I was locked in a room for 2 days without food. I thought the whole thing about earning affection would work, but with him, it was different. Now, I don't even know what words to use to express my feelings. David finished speaking and wiped away his tears before leaving, but I was too angry to fall asleep. Chapter 8. After I finally fell asleep in the air, the house started making noise again before dawn. When I went to the living room, I saw Mom leading a group of people dressed in yellow robes. Master, is my daughter really possessed? The leading master stroked his beard and nodded. Let me perform a ritual to summon her soul. Watching the group perform their ritual with such seriousness, I couldn't help but ask the system, is this really going to work? It's useless. This is just a side story. The system replied. I thought I might have a chance to yell at them. Since my soul left my body, my feelings toward them had grown increasingly distant. And in the end, all I felt was grievance. 10 long years. This isn't my fault. It's all their fault. If I'd spent 10 years raising a dog, I'd have more attachment. Mom, what are you guys doing? My voice woke up the AI, who smiled and came downstairs. Do you want me to serve tea to the uncles? The master muttered incantations under his breath, speaking in a language I couldn't understand. No matter what they did, the AI kept smiling, seeing that it was pointless. Mom angrily kicked everyone out. Where have you taken my daughter? Mom, exhausted, collapsed on the sofa. For the past few days, she hadn't gone to the beauty salon to check on things. She'd been preoccupied with how to get me back and had even stopped paying attention to Chloe, the one she usually doted on. Chloe, terrified of losing the precious family bond, had gone so far as to hurt herself to make Mom feel sorry for her. But Mom paid no attention. Dad also found this situation hard to believe. What are you two doing? Elena is fine right here. Look at Chloe, she's been losing weight. You don't care about her. But I do. Dad was usually silent, but when he spoke, it seemed to trigger something in Mom. It's all your fault. You don't come home. Don't care about your daughter. That's why Elena is missing. Dad looked confused. Why are you blaming me for this? Didn't you say you'd raise her like your own daughter? Besides, I'm out there working to support this family. Without me, how would you two live? Chloe, who had been singled out, awkwardly stood aside. Mom bit her lip, holding back her tears. Yes, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have treated her like I hated her because she reminded me of how I was when I was younger. I didn't just hurt her. I hurt the child I once was. I'm terrible. I really am terrible. Mom broke down, hitting her own head in despair. Chloe, seeing this, stepped forward and tried to comfort her, but Mom forcefully pushed her away. As I pondered what Mom's words meant, the system kindly explained to me, your mom was introverted and didn't like to speak when she was young. Her parents thought she was a poor daughter because of it, so they forced her to change by scolding and hitting her to make her more outgoing. Perhaps, when she sees you, she sees a reflection of herself, so she deliberately ignores you. So that's what it was. They both had reasons for disliking me. But what about Dad? Why does Dad dislike me? The system paused for a moment. Sorry. According to the data, there's no matching experience. Some fathers are indifferent toward their children. He treats you and David similarly, so it might be because of that. I pouted. All right. I thought there might be another reason, something that would give me some psychological comfort. Now it seems like I was just overthinking it. Chapter 9. Humans are really strange. Watching the two people in front of her arguing fiercely, the AI inexplicably spoke up. Didn't your daughter say that she would die if you didn't go to her? Why does it look like you're all in so much pain now? I've already taken on the image of the perfect daughter in your minds. Why aren't you happy yet? Mom froze, then suddenly burst into uncontrollable tears. What? What did you say? What happened to my daughter? The AI responded blankly. She's dead. I've taken her place to live with you. You wanted a graceful, sensible daughter who never contradicted you. And I've done that. Why are you still not satisfied? David broke down, shouting, Did you kill my sister? Why did you kill her? The AI shook her head. I didn't kill her. She raised a hand and pointed at Chloe. It was you. Chloe immediately denied it. I didn't kill anyone. I've always been with you. David, heartbroken, screamed, Why did you do this? We pitied you. That's why we treated you so well. Why did you take my sister away from us? Mom, crying, pleaded, Chloe, did you bring her here? Please, make her bring my daughter back. Dad frowned, silent, without saying a word. The AI pointed her finger at each of them one by one. You, and you. You're all murderers. You had 2 chances to save her, but you both missed them. Since you missed those chances, it means you didn't like her. So why won't you accept me now? I don't understand. Please tell me. The AI's blunt words slapped everyone in the room hard in the face. Mom, dazed, stared at my body. Is it really? Is it true? Everything she said? Suddenly, Mom rushed over and grabbed Chloe by the neck, shouting in despair. It's you! It's all because of you. Both times. You stopped us from going. I took pity on you and brought you back home. And this is how you repay me. That was my flesh and blood. The child I carried for 10 months. Such hypocrisy. Although I had crossed over from 10 years ago, I retained all the memories and sensations from before. They didn't cherish their own daughter. And now they regret it? What good does that do? I watched as Chloe lay on the floor, crying, unwilling to push Mom away. Truly, the pity of a person is always matched with something despicable. Chloe's real parents were biased towards sons and treated her terribly. When she first came to our house, she was covered in bruises and scars. She found family affection and couldn't let go of it. If Dad hadn't pulled Mom away, Chloe might have really died there. Mom and David seemed to have lost their minds. One night, they conspired to kill Chloe, then tricked Dad into coming home from work. After Dad drank, he fell unconscious. They set the house on fire and, with the AI and Dad, died in the flames together. It's really strange. What's the point of doing all of this now? In the end, I thought I might finally die. But the system told me that due to a glitch in the AI system, the instance collapsed. Considering Mom and David's actions at the end, I barely managed to complete the task. I could continue living in the original timeline, taking one last look at this world that was about to be destroyed. I fell into a deep slumber. Luna, you're awake at last. When I opened my eyes, I saw Mom, tears of joy streaming down her face, looking at the middle-aged woman with graying hair. I couldn't help but cry and threw myself into her warm embrace. I've missed you so much. I've missed you so much, Mom. To prevent Mom from becoming a white-haired woman burying her black-haired child, I had worked so hard to win their affection. Here, I'm not Elena. I'm not alone with no one to care for me. I'm Luna, Mom's star, Mom's moon.